I had an opportunity to work for the Kelly Strayhorn Theater for a while.
Okay.
That's how I got into the art scene. I was with Hip Hop Unlocked, and then the Kelly Strayhorn Theater. And the Kelly Strayhorn Theater had an accelerated program called the Penn Ave Creative. And I pitched the idea of Level Up. I was like, what if we had a dance studio that wasn't just a dance studio?
Okay.
You know
So
what I mean?
so you went. You called that event or like play some hip hop unlock, correct?
Yeah.
So like that was like a dance studio or like what was?
No,
what
so
was that?
Hip Hop on Lock was a program founded by Ime Alacueva.
Okay.
He's a Emmy Award winning videographer
dope.
and everything like that.
Okay.
And so what they did was they used hip hop, teaching hip hop, the math and music, things like that, writing poetry as a method to educate and mentor young people in school.
That's real
so
dope.
we would go to schools and teach kids how to rap. And, that was such a great opportunity for me, man. And it showed me that, like, yo, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I really love connecting and working with young people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then, that was my taste of Pittsburgh art scene. And then I got an opportunity to work at the Kelly Strayhorn as a dance teacher,
Wow.
as well as a studio assistant and eventually studio manager. And like I said, they had an accelerated program there that my friend Joy was like, yo, you should apply for this. You got a lot of good ideas. And I'm like, all right, what can I pitch? And I was like, wait, man, I've been working on Level Up because I've just been writing a business plan. And I was like, let me see what happens.
How long were you working
saying?
on the business plan? To that point?
So I probably started in 2013.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's funny because my wife, one of our first dates was us meeting together to write business plans.
But that's fire. That's fun. Like,
yeah.
bro, like,
Yeah.
and that's how you know certain shit is like just like meant to be in the
Yeah.
line. Cause, bro, like, imagine trying to like pitch that first date, like, yo, just met you.
Right.
Let's conjoin business plans.
Well, no, I mean, because I met her through music, and she was
dope,
into, she had her online magazine called Nubian Impulse, and she was like, I need some pointers, you know what I mean? Because I had a clothing line back in the day, so I was always
just like
entrepreneurial,
had your hands
you know what I mean?
in the different things.
So
right.
yeah, so like she knew that I had that business plan writing experience already.
Okay.
So I was just kind of helping her out, showing her how I did my executive summary and all these things and projections and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, man.
Because
Yeah.
I was even gonna say like a business plan, like you
Sure.
know, just like the fundamentals of it. Like, how do you make a business plan for a dance studio? Like, how do you show like that is profitable to somebody?
You know what, man? What I've learned. So before, I used to write like 30-something pages for a business plan, and I had
Y'all fucking hear that, bro? Y'all hear that? You niggas think you just make an IG account and be cool for 5 years and beyond.
Yeah.
30 fucking pages, man. All right, word up.
You know what I'm saying? And that was just like looking it up, using Google, like, yo, how do I do this? You know what I'm saying? But I had a mentor, man, who was like, yo, he was like, if somebody's gonna buy into your idea, he was like, number one, they're not gonna read all this. They don't have the time. Think about somebody who would invest in you.
For sure.
Do they have that much time to read 32 pages?
Right.
He was like, I was taught how to do what's called a creative brief, which is just like your executive summary, your mission statement, what products and services that you're gonna offer, price points on that, and like a brief 1-page projection, something like that. But yeah, man, I think like what got the idea pushed was just the mission behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
the actual vision behind it.
Yeah. We say we aim to make art, movement, and music accessible in life, not just the classroom.
That's dope.
And so what that means is like, everything you learn from us can be applied to anything in life. You know, it's just art is just the medium. You know what I mean? But there's lessons in everything. You know what I'm saying?
This.
And so,
you're dope already. Let's get the fuck into it. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, I like this already.
Yeah, bro.
Word up. Okay, now so now like I don't want to take it back to that first date. So, you're meeting your your now wife over. What was her business plan like? What was that first date like? Like what was the energy?
I'm not gonna say that was our official first date,
right.
but it was
one of
like
your first.
At that point, like I was like, I don't even think I really asked her out yet. I was about to, but we liked each other.
Sure.
It was known. But that experience was dope, man. Like I that was one of the things that I liked so much about her was that it was easy to be myself, but easy to just bounce off ideas. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you're a visionary type person, you seem crazy to people. You know what I mean?
You literally seem crazy to everybody.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Literally.
I remember there was a guy. I'm not gonna name no names, but I know he was attached to Zeke's Coffee. That's on Penn Ave.
Okay.
And we were in the same cohort for a loan program that I'm not gonna name.
Okay.
And they had like a little mixer type shit, and they were like, oh, and the lady was introducing me to other business owners, and oh, this is Mario. He just pitched his idea for the loan, and he was, oh, what's your idea? And I tell him, I'm like, yeah, Level Up Studios, we're a creative art studio, offering dance, martial arts, music, da 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 da. And he was like, the look on his face was like, bro, what?
Yeah.
That sounds so dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no one thought it would work.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, like people even like the idea of like what's that, co-working spaces, that wasn't even an idea yet when I was pitching that. And like people, they looked at it like that. They were like, oh, like co-working? I'm like, no, similar, but it's like it's a hub it's like the mall. Bro, the mall is one place where you can get a bunch of shit.
Facts.
Same thing. You know what I'm saying? And why not? You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's all within the realm of art. It's all within the realm of self-expression, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man. But I don't know. I'm gonna go in tangents.
No, please. Like, this is the place to do so.
Yeah.
So now, like, that's really, really dope. And like, really like the whole vision behind MIC and like what we do here. So like we, just bring up people in Pittsburgh that like, we feel are in the, creative community, entrepreneurship. Bro, to be honest, if you make the best tables in Pittsburgh,
yeah, that's
like, you know what I mean? Like, we want to chop it up with you. Like,
Right.
yo, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you speak a lot about the creative scene and community out here, which is dope. So like, I really want your opinion on like, first, what are your thoughts on the creative community in Pittsburgh? And then secondly, kind of like a two-part question, how has it grown since the 13 years? Wait, no, was it 13 years or?
No, we've been Level Up is 5 years. We're going on 6.
5 years, but you've just like been like, again, in like, fashion. I'm talking about your journey specifically.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
like
about 13 years, yeah.
13 years. So like, how has the community grown since you just like, since the gears have been turning 13 years ago up until now? Like,
okay, I'm gonna try my best to answer this
Yeah, for
question.
sure.
So that's a really good question. In the beginning, for me, like I wasn't tapped in, right? In terms of like people who were really the movers and shakers, in terms of like the creative scene and like the nonprofit scene, right? I was kind of like tied into like the college scene. I went to the Art Institute.
Okay.
So I'm big with the Art Institute folks, parties, things
is
like
that school here in Pittsburgh? Or?
Yeah, it was in Pittsburgh. It's no longer here. They closed down due to a bunch of legal things.
Yeah.
But I got my degree, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You got it, tucked it under and
You know what I'm
scattered it
saying?
out. Yeah.
That joint's accredited. You
Facts.
feel me? But no, man. I think like once I got tapped in, I want to say around like 2013, 2014. I didn't realize how, especially black people, there were so many dope, conscious, visionary black people in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh that I didn't have access to.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that I finally got around these people and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like, there's so many people doing that. I remember meeting D.S. Kinzel and my boy Thomas Agnew, you know what I mean, from Boom Concepts, and just like watching them open up Boom, and like me and my boy Mike would go up there and be like, yo, can we talk to y'all real quick and just chop it up, pick your brain. We got,
Yeah, facts.
because we had the same ideas, but after getting in there and stuff like that, man, I realized how strong like young creative black Pittsburgh was, man. And but it's two part. And that has grown, the art scene, the music scene, the dance scene here in Pittsburgh. Honestly, it was me and my guys that were the first guys really getting down. And then you had like there was a group called Naka, Big Worm, was the one. Not Worm, Weave was the one who started that and everything like that. But that was like, we were so separate. We were like the freestyle scene, and this was like the choreography scene. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But now, I'm in cahoots with both sides.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And it's really dope to see, freestylers coming to class and people who do choreography coming to ciphers and stuff like that. And then on the nonprofit point of view, man, like, there's a lot of support out there. There's a lot of foundations that are really trying to shift gears and create equitable experiences for young people, man. And I've seen that aspect grown. I've seen Black voices amplified over time. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people come together over time, man. But I think there's still a lot more work to do.
Sure.
In terms of creating more accessibility for other creatives coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Such as what? Like, what do you think could improve
like,
in that area?
Money.
Yeah.
Pay us.
Yeah.
Pay us. You know what I'm saying? When you know, I just recently Level Up was we're still working on expanding, but we were expanding into what we were calling the Level Up Apex, which was going to be a 6,000 square foot facility that housed 2 dance studios and a full MMA and boxing gym, because we're getting into fitness, and I've been falling in love with fighting and stuff like
dude,
that.
So man, man, you are talking to the fight fan, bro. I just watched Izzy last night.
Yes, I watched Izzy.
I just watched
that was
Izzy
beautiful.
last night. Great win, you know. Shout out to Izzy. And I was even gonna say, man, dance, creativity, MMA. Where does that sneak in?
Right.
And first off, that's dope because like in my mind, what you got going on is like it's almost like if you're like a little because like I'm like a bit of a nerd. We're like bit of nerds over here,
Right.
but it sounds to me like it's almost like Xavier's School for Gifted Kids, just like, but like a level up, bro. It's like the X-Men crib,
That's
bro.
dope. That's
Whatever
dope.
you're
That's
into,
dope.
you
That's
have
dope.
a room.
Right.
If you can moosh it with your mind,
Right.
she got a teacher. If
Right.
you're like super strong,
Right.
you got like, bro. It's so
Right.
like that's really fucking dope. So like, how did MMA kind of get into that scene? Like, were you always a fight fan or?
Yeah, always, man. I was
Okay.
like, I was arguing with my boy yesterday. He was like, "Man, I know more about MMA than you." I was like, "Bro, you were a kid in the early 2000s. I was watching Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz,
Anderson,
Silva,
Matt
Griffin, all those
Hughes,
guys.
shout out to
Matt
Matt
Hughes,
George Saint, you know what I mean? You
GSP,
feel me?
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm with
I've
you.
been watching MMA for a minute, but nah. All jokes aside, man, you know, I was going through a journey, man, where I just like, I wasn't, you know, and I still have bad habits. We all do, but
Yeah.
I didn't feel physically fit. Like I was like, man, I'm a dad now. You know, I wanna, you know, one, I got kids. I want to be able to protect them,
For sure.
protect my wife, and be able to teach them something
For sure.
down the line, man. And so I had my boy Malcolm Hudson was like, "Bro, would you ever train me?" And he was like, "In what? Kung Fu?" I was like, "Nah, let's stick with boxing," because I tried Kung Fu and I did Wing Chun for a couple years, man. It
Wow.
was really dope. I know basic blocks and stuff like that. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I want something more applicable. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Facts.
something goes down,
Yeah, you want
then
to
I need to.
You want to
know
at
what I
least
mean?
be like you have a fundamental skills, like yeah.
Because I put it like this, bro. I don't need to fight somebody. Like just having head movement and footwork alone, you can make somebody look dumb.
Yeah,
like if
facts.
they swing at you, you're like boom, boom, dude, and pivot, and they're
Right.
like, where did he go? And
Yeah.
I didn't even touch you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
now you just look crazy.
I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and now you're thinking about trying to throw this next punch.
Right.
Yeah,
'Cause this
yeah.
nigga's quick. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. So I started training, man, and I fell in love with it.
That's dope.
And then I started doing Muay Thai with my boy Steve Cho. He came around just randomly through Kind Hearts Media. They came through to Level Up for an event, and I saw this Asian dude dancing. And you know, as soon as I see a dancer, I'm like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah,
and then he was like being all standoffish. And then we got to meet again, and like I found out he was a fighter, and I'm like, "Oh, you fight, huh?" And he did Muay Thai. His record was ridiculous, something like 25 and like 12 or something ridiculous like that.
Bro, to win 25 fights in Muay Thai,
it, like in Thailand,
Yeah,
though. not in America,
no
in
rules.
Thailand.
Yeah, that's
he trained
in the
in Thailand.
trenches, right.
Like the boy, like he kicked me one time, bro. It felt like I got a brick thrown at
Bro,
my
that's
face.
because they be
Like,
kicking bricks for
bro,
90
bro,
days in a row
like, dead
just to
ass.
train that left leg. Like,
Dead ass. So nah, man. So then I was like, you know, I kind of like, I'm always like thinking of like different things we can add to our roster
That's
in
so
terms
crazy,
of
yeah.
products and services. And I was like, hey guys, I'm really liking this. My friends started training with us.
Okay.
We just all, like, yo, let's train. We all watch UFC and boxing anyway. Might as well get into it, learn. So when we're watching this stuff, we know what they're doing.
Facts.
And it's dope. When you know the shit and you see the shit, you're like, ooh, look at the way he pulled
Yeah,
the counter.
yeah,
Like,
nah,
you know what I'm
facts,
saying?
facts.
Like, you know what I mean? It's dope. But then we started noticing, like, people, our friends started inviting their friends. And I was like, this could be a thing. You know what I'm saying? And then I started coaching. Just doing pad work, learning how to do pad work for my coaches.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the coaching part of it. And I'm like, yo. So I started researching and stuff like that, man, different certifications that I could get that I'm still, working on and everything like that. I won't lie. I'm not certified, but I do it for the love
Yeah.
of the sport. You know what I mean? And but yeah, man, I was like, this is something that I want to pursue in addition
Facts.
to being a dancer, being a musician, being an artist. I was like, I really like fight culture. I really like the techniques, the discipline behind it, the lifestyle behind it, and it fits with dance, man. Footwork is footwork. You know what I mean?
There's a rhythm to both.
Look at Izzy. He's so fluid because he's also a dancer.
For sure.
The way a dancer's brain works, we can understand distance and spatial awareness and things like that much better than someone who's got 2 left feet.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I'm saying?
for sure.
But not to say anybody can learn with the proper coach and determination. But yeah, man. So that's kind of how that came through. And I pitched it to my partners. I was like, look, man, I really like this fight shit. This could be a really dope addition to what we're doing. They're like, I love it, you know. But I didn't finish my point about the space.
Yeah.
And about equitable accessibility.
For sure, yeah.
So the building owner, you know, played the game. Oh, Mario, you're such a great guy. I love the idea. We're gonna make it happen. We got to get, you know, our permits and all this. So I did all this work to get these permits and do all this stuff. And long story short, I got undercutted by a daycare center.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I meant by, like, there needs to be more work done to create accessibility and make it more equitable for people like me, because it seems like we get left behind a lot of times for
like,
other things, you know?
So, like, when you say undercut, like, he pretty much just made a deal behind your back to, like, you know, pretty much give them the space instead of you?
Because he wanted his rent up front. And I told him, I said, no, sir, I will not pay you for a building that is not up to code.
Facts.
If I can't have children in here now, why would I give you rent?
Right.
You know, and unfortunately, it's not illegal for them to do that. You know, it literally, right after it happened, I saw one of those, like, building inspector people in their car, and I ran up to their car. I was like, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, bro, is it illegal for da-da-da-da-da? He's like, unfortunately, it's not. We're actually trying to make it illegal.
Wow.
Because it's shady.
That's
a lot of qualified business people and entrepreneurs who got great ideas and could add value to the community get fucked over for an auto zone all the time. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like, think about it, bro.
Right.
Or a bank.
Yeah.
Like the new fucking Key Bank. Like, we need another fucking bank.
autos.
You know what I'm talking about? Right on the Negley and Penn. We don't need another fucking bank, man.
Facts, man,
we need some shit that's gonna bring life to the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, like, that's what I've been trying to do. But, you know, I think that those who have the power, like these developers, these landlords, funders, people like that, you know, they need to look out for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because honestly, put it like this. Let's be honest. Bakery Square, all that area over there that they gentrify, even East Liberty,
Facts.
whack. Ain't nobody over there doing nothing.
Yeah.
I don't go over there.
Yeah.
I don't go to Wabalo or Bonobos or whatever the fuck shit, the goddamn cheese
Right.
cake.
Yeah.
fucking
Facts.
Get a fattening milkshake.
Yeah.
No, nigga. That's
a
whack.
boba pop shop.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is that? Like, excuse my language, but like,
Nah, man,
bro,
please
like, I'm
express.
like, but imagine though, if we had, you know, dope quality businesses that were for adults, that were for kids. You know what I mean? Like,
Just like, again, just like places like Level Up where people can commune.
Yes.
Bro. Just where people can commune
Yes.
and, like you said, just bounce ideas off each other, bro.
Yes. So that's what I meant by that.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. So, I mean, okay, the undercut happens. You have this vision, you know, you want a dance studio set up. You know, you're in the fighting. Like, what was the feeling like when you locked down a space? Like, when shit was coming into fruition, you're like, all right, damn, like, we got a space. Now it's time to get going.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. So I'll tell you the story. Like I said, I was in that program called Penn Ave Creative. The program came to an end. And
just real quick, for people who don't know what Penn Ave Creative, like, is that still like a resource people can go through, or is that over?
I think it's over. So
Okay.
that was under the direction of Janera Solomon.
Gotcha.
The new executive director of the Kelly Strayhorn is Joseph Hall.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they have that same program, but I think it's over. You know, but that was a special project because they were trying. The idea that was right when all the gentrification was happening, and what they were trying to do was that was the Kelly Strayhorn's strategy to kind of like battle against that. Like, okay, you're gonna develop all this stuff. Okay, we're gonna develop all these cool new projects to be on Penn Avenue.
Okay.
You know, and I think I was like, I was the only, me and Becca Zala, a colleague of mine, she has a Black Unicorn project. She's gonna be set up, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe at Boom Concepts and stuff like that. But and then Level Up. But what happened was, you know, after the program was over, Janera was like, hey, there's these spaces down on Penn Avenue. They're making this new building called the Penn Matilda Building. I'm gonna try to get you guys in there. And like every week I would ask, like, yo, what's up with the building? What's up with the building? What's up with the building? And just it just didn't seem like it was really gonna happen, you know. And so me being the type of person that I am, I'm like, if I want something, I'm gonna go get that shit.
Grab that shit.
And so I did my due diligence. I found out who was managing the space. I found out who owned the space, and I emailed and called them. And then I shout out to my girl Holly Hood, aka Amber Epps. She had Local 412, which is now Arts and Crafts, which is crafts, crafts and crystals and stuff like that. And since right on Penn Avenue, but I was looking on the management website and I saw her name. I'm like, oh, she work here? So I called her. I was like, hey, what's up, girl? I was like, is there any way you can get me a meeting with the executive director? And she was like, for sure. What you trying to do? Sent her my brief that I was telling you about, that one pager.
Facts.
Boom. She was like, that's dope.
Facts.
Got you. So I had a meeting with him, pitched my idea. He was like, yo, I love your idea. This is great. He was like, I'm so happy that this is a black-owned, because he's a white guy telling me this, man. Because he was saying he's tired of it. You know, he's like, man, there's a bunch of bullshit on the Ave, man, and we need more culture, because the Penn Ave is the divide where we're talking about is the divide between Bloomfield and Garfield.
Right.
And we know who live in Garfield.
Right.
Our people.
Right.
Right. But they don't feel comfortable coming down to Penn Ave because there ain't shit down there for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that, you know, he was like, yo, I'm gonna show you the building. So I got to see it, bro. And I'm talking about, I saw the building when there was no walls. It was just wires and framing and everything like that, but I could see the whole joint. I was like, oh, this is where I'll put my desk right here. This is where the mirrors will go. Boom, the recording studio gonna go right here. Boom, 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 boom. Because it's just literally, the space is only like 1,400 square feet. It's like one big box.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we you know, finessed it to where like it's functional. You know what I'm saying? You could do all these things, man. But like the feeling of getting that space, locking that in. Shout out again to my partners for being a part of that journey. You know, it was the best feeling, man. And even my boy Justin, man, this is one of my best friends, man. He also teaches hip hop at the studio. But he always catches me outside of the studio just like looking at my accomplishment. And he's like, bro, he's like, bro,
listen,
like,
if you stay out there for 48 hours, no one can tell you shit.
Right.
You bro, like this was an idea you had, bro. Fire.
Right. And the dope part, man, is that every year, man, and people tell me, they're like, bro, every time I come in here, it looks different. There's something new.
That's
you know,
crazy.
You know, we just got new LED lights all over the place. You know, we just built like a dope ass recording booth that's got Mrs. Pac-Man painted on it and the ghost and all that shit, but it's on wheels so we can move it around if we want to and shit. And people are like, dog, every time I come in here, bro, it's something new. So, you know, I just want to, you know, continue to do that, man. And that's what the new space that we're trying to acquire is. This space will be called the Level Up Apex. You know, I want that to be like that next frontier, that next like, whoa, bro. You did that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the vision for that, if you want to get into that?
Again, that's where the fighting and all that comes in.
Okay, gotcha. So like,
we do that. We do have classes now at the studio.
Okay.
Because it's like, it doesn't make sense to say, hey, we're trying to expand to make a gym and you can't do nothing now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have a program called Apex Fitness, hence the name, Apex Fitness, that we run. I do a 2-a-day on Tuesdays, 1 to 3, and then 4 to 6, and then I do a training on Saturday from 1 to 3, and it's dope, man. It's dope. Right. You know, you get the strength and conditioning stuff. I got all the equipment. You know what I mean? Like, and I just had one yesterday, and man, they were like, "Yo, that was a crazy ass workout, bro." Like Coach Quinn, they call me Coach Quinn.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But they're like, "Bro, you're crazy with it." And and it's wild, bro. I be on Instagram because I follow a bunch of different boxing coaches and MMA coaches, and I'm learning, bro. And I save them. I'm like, save
Facts.
different drills and stuff like that. I'll learn it myself. Come and teach it to them. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think, like, at least in the boxing and MMA discipline, like, what as far as teaching and coaching goes, like, have you picked up from being like a fighting coach into dance and, like, you know, what you teach there, like any sort of traits or skills that like you may have developed while training, you know, again, just like an MMA class or a boxing class, and then those skills transfer over to like when you're teaching dance and other things?
I mean, you know what? So I say this to my staff members, man, when we have our staff meetings. I say, it's not what you teach, it's who you are. You know what I'm saying? I can teach anything, bro. Doesn't matter what the subject is. It's me that you're getting. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting anything but who I am as a person. But I think like teaching starts with communication, right? So it's being able to break something down, break something down to somebody so that they can understand it where they are. You know what I'm saying? For example, it's like saying something. Can you teach a 5-year-old and a grandma the same thing using the same words?
Right. Wow.
Yes or no? I can. You feel what I'm saying? And so, so that's the difference there. But yeah, in terms of like footwork, that's the biggest one, man.
Yeah,
it's footwork. That's where those two really tie in.
Yeah.
Even like different ways of like relaxing and tensing at certain points. So for example, I teach popping, right? And popping is all about boom, that flex of the muscle and then relaxing. You know what I mean? But a lot of people they use force. They go like this, and I'm like, what is you doing, bro?
Yeah.
It's resistance. You pull it back, you know. And same with your defense in boxing. You don't defend toward your opponent. You roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying? So it's a resistance, but it creates that flow, right? Like I seen guys like Canelo. You could literally jaw him, and he's gonna go like this. And it looked like he got rocked.
Yeah.
He rolled the hell out of that. Bro.
Right.
And it's flow, bro. Same with Mayweather. The shoulder roll. You know what I'm saying?
It's the Mayweather defense, right?
Yeah, that Philly show.
Yeah.
Shit, but, you know what I mean? But like, there's different things that the body can do, you know, that you can identify in dance and boxing and that work hand in hand.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No
So,
doubt. And like, I definitely want to take it back to dance for sure. So, you know, what is your favorite discipline, one? And then kind of like rewinding, what got you into dance? Because I am definitely a fan of dance personally, right? And I just remember it was 2 videos I was just like, nah, what the fuck are they? Like they're going after it right now. It was one pop locker, and you probably seen the video. He was dancing the pumped up kicks. And like, bro, and that shit went like early, super viral, went early. Yeah, he was going crazy, one. And then 2, I'll never forget, it was like one of the earlier seasons of So You Think You Can Dance. It was this contestant named Robert Moraine. And he danced to this one Swiss beat song. Now just like, bro, he did this one move where like he like turned his arm like this. I said, wait. I'm like 12, 13. I'm like, yo, they're going stupid, bro. So like, was it the same for you? Cause like I know like, you're like, you know, slightly older. So like, was it like that same internet boom, or like were you just always a rhythmic person? Like always kind of.
Nah. So. Bro, I was trash as a kid. I was the stiff kid who couldn't do anything, had no rhythm, nothing like that, man. But I liked dancing a lot, you know. But for me, bro, and all dancers will tell you this, Michael, man, it was Michael for me, bro. Seeing Michael Jackson do what he does,
it's Michael for me still, bro.
And so I would mimic that as a kid, but that was the only type of dancing I could do.
Facts.
Like I couldn't do none of the like like 90s dances and the New Jack Swing type shit. I was really non-rhythmic, but I could roll my shoulder. I could moonwalk. You know what I mean? Glide across the floor. Stuff
I was
like
the
that.
exact same way. That's fire, right?
And then. And yeah, man. And then I saw. So what really did it was this movie that came out in the '80s called Breakin', bro. Breakin', Turbo and Ozone. It's like It was, and they had Poppin' Taco and Poppin' Pete in it. One of the most famous breakdance / popping films that came out, other than like Beach Street and all that stuff.
Okay.
But they had two movies. And man, Turbo, bro, he was so. It's the guy who had the broom scene, bro. The broom scene outside the corner store, and he was making the broom levitate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know
you don't know?
Movie. Yeah,
you gotta watch it. It's a classic.
Yeah, man, that's
a
little
classic.
bit before my time.
Oh yeah, it's a classic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, I saw that, and that's when I really got to see like the West Coast style of dancing,
right.
like you know what I mean, and like. And you realize like, oh shit, all the shit Michael Jackson is doing is very similar to this stuff. Come to find out, that shoulder roll, that's called the Cobra. Poppin' Taco taught him that. Who's in the movie Breakin'?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? The moon.
How'd you link with him?
Huh?
How'd you link with him? Or like?
No, I didn't. I just know about these guys. Yeah. These are just legends of the game.
Okay,
OGs that are still alive. Poppin' Taco's still alive.
Okay.
Poppin' Pete's still alive. He's in his like 50s and shit. But yeah, man. So I started studying that, man. Then like. You remember like the Chicken Head, Harlem Shake, shit like that. Heel Toe. When that shit came out, mastered that shit.
Bro,
you know
do you fuck with jugging at all?
Who?
Juking?
Juking? Is that when they be on their toes?
Yeah.
I like it. I can't do it.
That shit is so fire.
I like
bro.
it. It's raw.
I be pressing my little steps too. That shit is crazy.
I like that, and I like light feet. I think light feet.
Okay, yeah.
I like all the new styles, man, because again, these styles represent the places and the people from those places. Man.
Absolutely,
I think that's
right.
what's really important.
Real cultural.
You know, in terms of dance, man, and like, but even with popping, bro, it's the same way. Breakdancing was the same way. That was the dance in New York at that time.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You know, popping, that was the dance out in L.A. at that time.
For
Locking,
sure.
same thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I respect all that stuff, man. But yeah, that's how I got into dancing, man.
Okay.
I got into teaching randomly. I had a white girlfriend at the time. She had a friend that had a studio, and she was like, "You can dance, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know what I mean?
You're black, right?
Yeah. And I did, like, you know, I did talent shows. I had dance crews and all that. So I was used to like dancing with people, right? But he said, "You're black." I just said, so like, yeah, man. But I went down to the studio, did like a quick freestyle. She was like, "Oh my God, you're dope. You're hired."
That's fire.
And then like, bro, once I got over that first class. Again, I realized that my real passion is teaching.
Yeah.
That's my passion.
Wow.
Not the art. Like, I love art. You know, I love all that. But it's like, I am a facilitator, a teacher, leader, mentor, excuse me, type person. You know what I'm saying? And so,
real dope, man. And so, bro, I just want to know, like, okay, because like I'm kind of like, you know, in my head, because like you're giving a lot, like you're an awesome guest so far, but very, man, you're just willing to give it up. So like, okay, because I remember you said like you weren't plugged in initially when you were getting shit going.
Mm-hmm.
What was the process for you to get plugged in? Pretty much, like what was that grind like? Was it just like networking, pretty much, or like how did you go about that?
It was being seen, bro. So like, in the past I wasn't. That's why my shit seemed so crazy to people.
Yeah.
It's because I was in the wrong circles, right? I wasn't in the right orbit for my ideas to be appreciated. And so it was when I got hired at the Kelly Strayhorn Theater.
Okay.
I'll give them all the respect, man. I couldn't have did any of it without Janera Solomon. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I worked with at the Kelly Strayhorn, because they were young people like me. You know, they just had these really important jobs. And, you know, they were connected to grant writers and people who give grants and stuff like that. And so they would come to these events. I would be the guy, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm Mario Quinn. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And like just kept, and anytime there was an opportunity for me to showcase my skill set, I did that.
Dope.
I didn't run from it. And so that's kind of what got me into those doors. And I started building relationships with people. A lot of the relationships that I built was with folks from One Hood. You know, shout out to my girl Jaquia May. Like, I remember her; she would walk in all the time, singing and stuff like that, and we just became mad tight. You know, and I was able to meet a lot of people through her. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a bunch of different people. My man Akil Asun, you know, he was doing work with One Hood as well, but he's a dope ass producer, man. You know, bunch of opportunities with him, with my boy Ime Alacueva. You know, Daryl Kenzel or DS Kenzel. Whatever you know him as, you know, again, he gave me the opportunity a couple years ago to do acting. He was like, yo, you wanna be in this play? And I'm like, a play?
How the fuck was that? Like, I mean, bro, from going to dancing to being, I'm an actor now, by the way.
Bro, but like, you know that, what's that joint called? The Myers-Briggs or something, the test you take?
Yeah, facts,
bro,
facts.
or like, you know, one you do in school?
Yeah.
Nigga, my shit every time came out actor, comedian, something like that.
I'm like, man, what? Yo, you are very personable, extroverted. Like, you should be in the. I'm like, bro, every fucking time. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
But you know, like that experience, man, it was nerve wracking. I was nervous, you know, scared, but like I was like, you know what, man, I'm a performer. This is what I do, you know, like as an artist, like, you know, I do shows, I rap in front of people. It's like that. I just use that same kind of energy and just put it into my character, man. But it was such a dope experience, and it was an immersive play, meaning like the crowd wasn't in the audience; they were in the play.
Wow,
walking through it like it was amazing.
That's nuts.
Yeah, bro.
Wait.
Yeah, bro.
You have to break that down for me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So the play was called "If I Die, I'm a Legend," and then there's a bunch of other subtext that I don't feel like saying.
Okay, yeah,
I don't remember it all.
Yeah,
but the main title was "If I Die, I'm a Legend," and basically, I played a Detroit speakeasy owner. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I was real pimped out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I got to use my dance, and I was
Word
up in
up.
there like,
Yeah.
hitting the James Brown and stuff. But then I
Okay.
had to do my monologue, and like it was about the Detroit riots and how like they shut down the speakeasy, and like, you know, how the speakeasies were a part of our culture. It was our way to connect, you know what I'm saying, back in the day and stuff like that. You know, and it was our way of life. It was our living. It's like, it may be illegal in your eyes, but this is how I put food on the table for my family. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, throughout our history, we've been constantly
Yeah,
perfect timing.
Yeah,
Constantly.
Welcome to the MIC podcast. You know what I mean? What
you know,
the fuck?
I mean, but we've always had challenges. We've always had them telling us what we can and can't do and what we should do. And then if they don't like how we're doing something, they just blow it up. You know what I mean? Then blame it on us and say we're the ones who blew it up.
They were too
You know what I mean?
rambunctious, and we had to shut it down. And
So,
facts.
but nah, man. So I got to do this monologue, and it was dope, bro. It was mad dope.
Yo, she's trolling. Yo, whoever's doing that back to me is fucking trolling, man. Now we're gonna have to get to it, but bro, that.